Beautiful ones, wherever you are, alongside, near, far away. I don't know where you are. I don't know where I am. It's really amazing to be with you, near you, far away, nearby, alongside. I didn't know what to say or how to begin. So perhaps I'll begin with two passages, two texts that have given me courage and comfort this spring. How do you live when the links between creativity and survival can't easily be discerned? So the first is from this amazing pamphlet, Tongues, by Rehana Zaman, the editor. And I'm going to read a passage by Aditi Jagannathan. How can we claim to speak for all women of colour when women of colour spaces constantly fail Black women? Cries for a radical past prevail. Nostalgia for a radical past that conceals patterns of anti-Black racism and emotional abuse. Words of resistance can reproduce dynamics of power that reduce, subordinate, and demean others with less power. We must learn, we must acknowledge, we must undo pain, we must address trauma. So we heal, so we build, so we create from a place of collective love. To love is to refuse. And the second is a book that came from the US, from Chicago, selected letters and seminar notes of Audre Lorde. And the editor is Mayra A. Rodriguez Castro. And this is from May the 17th, 1984, from the time that Audre Lorde was teaching and lecturing in Berlin. We must be in training for speaking. That is one of the things that should be happening in a place like this. We won't always agree with each other, but this is as safe an environment, is it, as there could be. You should use it because it will go very quickly. The school will break and you will go on to other places. This is a chance to get over that quiver in your chest and that horror that catches your throat every time you open your mouth to speak. At some point in your lifetime, you are going to have to speak up. There are instances where remaining silent will be death. You start in the place where they are not going to wipe you down. So these two, thank you. And the third thing, when I was thinking, like, what can I say that would contribute to your lives, your realities? What can I say to you who I will never see or know, perhaps? And just listening to all the messages from elders today, I thought of something my mum said. I live with my mum, she's 80. We've just come back to England after many years in other places. She remembered something that her great-great-grandmother said: prepare yourselves. Avoid spaces in which white people congregate. So that's number 3, bit of advice there from the ancestor. And I'm going to close with some poems that are a little bit about home and coming home again. This is my birthplace out there in the bushes, a gate. So this is from a collection called How to Wash a Heart. There's a white host and the person in the house is not. The host's gleaming hair responds beautifully to the shampoo she has set out for us to share. What's mine is yours, she says with a sweet smile. I don't want you taking her out without asking me first, she continues, holding her daughter tight against her side. I can smell your body odor. I can smell your vagina. Are you wearing your genitals as a brooch? I imagine that this is what is meant by the gift of a douche and the yellow bottle of medicated powder. I want to be split into 2 parts or 1,000 pieces. I want you to touch my cervix. I want my dress shredded and my life too, then tenderly resumed or banished. Whatever you want to do to me, do it. To this end, I invited you back. But at my door to the bedroom, the host appeared in her jammies. Listen, we didn't agree to this. When what you perform at the threshold is at odds with what happens when the front door is closed, then you are burning the toast and you are letting the butter fester. Verbally, you state egalitarian ideals. Financially, you hook that brown baby up. But in private, when it's snowing or when the sun is ruddy, a speculative blob, you say no. No to the wet towel on the banister. I've had enough. A host-guest chemistry is inclusive, complex, molecular, dainty. Google it. Does the host envelop the guest, or does the guest attract diminished forms of love, like the love a parent has for a child in September and January, when the child is at its most vulnerable? Are these questions enough to violate your desire for art that comes from a foreign place? What are the limits of this welcome? After all, I don't feel anything for you. On the first night, we danced to Vivienne. On the second night, I roasted cumin seeds, then sprinkled them on yogurt. Without words, your daughter and I drank water from the bowls on the windowsill, a traditional form of consumption. This shit's not manageable, I wrote on the 4th night, something you underlined and questioned when you found my diary and read from it aloud. Was this the moment I became an alien form? I dreamt my grandmother was lying face down in a cave, immersed in the lightly flowing water. I dreamed my grandfather was riding a motorbike without a head. I dreamed my father was pouring me a glass of white wine in the kitchen as we waited for the yogurt to cool. I dreamed my mother was crocheting the sun into a dress of copper, blue, and yellow yarn, smiling and nodding, even as a man unknown to my family spun my body from a rusted hook. I want to wake up in the arms of the person I love and drink coffee with them on a balcony that opens up to a forest where the moss glows green in the pouring rain. We are both poets, or one of us is. It doesn't matter to me what this person does for a living or who they are inside gender's hall. Light a candle, beloved, and lay me down on the forest floor. Am I your queen? There's a knock on the door, there's a hand on my arm, your daughter is screaming, your eyes are on fire. There's a knock on my eye, there's a hand on my fire, there's a break in the scream. The scream is mine, my scream is at hand, it knocks on the land gives way, I suck the hole. The hole has a rim, and in these last moments, I clock the look that passes between you and the officer from the Department of Repatriation, and understand this is your revenge. I love you. Please don't die. That is the end of the poetry reading.